Hello? What's today, man? February 27th, 2017. How the fuck are you guys today, huh? I'm sorry for not podcasting for so long, but I just been so fucking busy. We're so busy. This song is called Sanctified Lady. It's by Marvin Gaye. This shit is hard. I'm gonna turn it up. Hold up. I ain't never heard no shit like this before from him. I'm trying to light this fucking incense. How's your guys' month been? And I've been bullshitting. I've been busy, man. Lots been going on. I ain't gonna keep you up for too long. Alright? Relax. Alright, chill. You driving? You at the office? You in your house not doing shit or something. Alright. So, thank you for listening to this podcast. I'm not going to close this tab. Anyways, this song is from if you care. This song is from Dream of a Lifetime. It was an album that was pieced together after Marvin Gaye's death. And that's really it, man. Just a bunch of shit that they found that his mom still had, and they just put it on a record, and that's it. And I mean, I have this record out of my mom's collection that she gave me when she was moving. And I got a record player, and then, I just saw it, like, the other day, and, I was cleaning my room or whatever, and I was like, I'm listening to some soulful shit, and then I put this shit in, and I'm like, what the fuck am I listening to? What is going on here? Because I never heard Marvin Gaye on anything like this before, so this must have been something that he was like, I'm gonna try this new shit, and, if it works, if I like it, I'm just gonna, this is gonna be it. But it's a little too hardcore, too little different. But it sounds good though. I like it. So I mean, having this album on vinyl is pretty cool. That's about it. That's all I can tell you. So I'm gonna turn it off. I can't focus. How's your guys' weeks, man? So, I know you've probably listened to A Night with Friends podcast with me, to Darwin and Mary. And so I'm like, well, fuck, before the month ends, let me do a solo podcast and just let y'all know I'm okay. And I'm fine, I drop a podcast like on like the 3rd of February, and then I just disappear. And so I was going to do a podcast while I was in San Francisco, but it just didn't work out. People got a little too drunk. That was it. I just didn't pull. I had my phone out recording a little bit, but it was so dumb. I'm just not going to post it. I mean, maybe I will eventually, like 20 years from now, if I'm still doing this podcast stuff. But I mean, nah, I'm going to keep that in the archives. You feel me? Also, on The Night with Friends, if you have to turn the volume up, my bad. I got a new case. I got one of those charging cases. And so it definitely covers a lot of the microphone, so it's not going to pick up as much as it should. So, hey, I'm sorry if you got to turn your shit up to 40. If your shit don't go up to 40, I'm sorry that you had to do that, because I wasn't thinking straight. So, but anyways, overall, I just want to say thank you for listening in the first place. Very nice of you. All right. So, yeah. So, I mean, we went to San Francisco. That was a good ass time. I got there. I was the first one out there. I got out there at like noon. So I took the BART. Now, let me tell you something about the BART system. All right. I think, what is it called? Like the Bay Area Railroad Transit? I don't know. That makes sense if that's what it's called. Bay Area Rail Transit. Anyways, I'm from Washington State, Tacoma, Washington to be exact. We have Pierce Transit and then whatever they have in King County and Olympia, whatever. And like our transit system is so boo-boo at this point that I took the BART, man. The BART was like, it was like state-of-the-art shit, man. And I loved it. I loved it because it was just it's easy. You go to Oakland, okay? Go to Oakland, go to Livermore, go to Dublin, go to San Francisco, everything in between. And I was like, this is so convenient. But like, we have Tacoma, the biggest cities here in Western Washington. Tacoma, Seattle, Bellevue, right? And we ain't got shit but a bus that takes us in between all those cities. Like, we have the Link, we have the Sounder, and that's really it. But the thing about the Sounder is that it's just a train system and it has designated schedules. Like, it's not going all the time, all day from like 6 a.m. to fucking 11 p.m. like other public transit systems do. Like, the Sounder only runs during the week, right? From like 4 in the morning to like 10, and then it doesn't run no more until like 2 to like 6. Something stupid. And it's like, okay. And then we have the Link, right? And I don't know how that runs, but it doesn't go far. Like, it starts in fucking Tukwila, which is like 30 minutes north from Tacoma. Like, it's literally in between Tacoma and Seattle. So it's like, why is it not in Tacoma? So boom, it starts in freaking the middle of nowhere, and it goes all the way up to, I think, like Everett, Washington, which is like, I don't know how often that one runs, but how often the freaking BART runs. And they got like 4 different trains, right, that go to different places. And it's like, dude, I don't know. Like, I think the main issue was that we kind of outgrew ourselves. Like, Washington State, like this part along I-5, it grew so fast that it just, like, nothing could keep up with it, you know? Like, apartments are getting expensive as fuck out of nowhere. Public transit is ass. I-5 is a travesty. I-405 is a travesty. Highway 167 is a terrible situation. And it's like, there's not much we can do, man. Like, so Highway 167 is a freeway that'll take you from, like, it'll take you to, like, it's like the back road, basically. That'll take you into King County. And it's literally a 4-lane highway. 2 lanes on the left, 2 lanes on the right. And there's so much traffic. Like, it's literally bumper to bumper. And it's like a main highway. And it's like, I bet you at one point there wasn't even traffic like that. But just because there's just so much shit popping up in all these little cities and stuff, it's ridiculous. So it's literally like a parking lot from 6 in the morning to like 8 in the morning. And then from like 2 p.m. to like 6 p.m. It's silly. And like, they even added a lane, and the lane, and them adding the lane didn't even do anything to help. So it's just like, I don't know, man. I'm about to get a hoverboard. But like, luckily I don't work that far from myself. So like, on a good day, I can get to work in like 35 minutes. On a bad day, it might be an hour and some change. And then I can get home in like an hour. So like today, what was funny, I get home in like 45 minutes and I'm like, what happened to the traffic? And I look on the news and they shut down I-5 in Seattle today. Now, for those of you that don't know about I-5, the only ones that will know about I-5 are people that live in Washington, Oregon, and California. Now, that's the main interstate that goes through all three of those states. And, so it got shut down in Seattle because I think they said like a tanker flipped over and then it started snowing. So it was just a shit show the whole day. So I'm like, dang, son. So I'm not that far out from that area, but I'm far enough to where it didn't affect me, thankfully. So I got home, or I got to my part of town in like 40 minutes. I got to my chiropractic appointment early, like by 30 minutes. So homie squeezed me in, right? And I got to the gym at a decent time. Now, so I mean, our public transit system is garbage up here. It's garbage. So, anyways, so we go to San Francisco, and speaking of trains, right, I'm the first one there, and then there's like 3 or 4 of my friends, they were coming later, and these fools take the wrong train, right? And it's like, how do you take the wrong train? So, like, what I said, I was like, man, you guys are a bunch of fucking rookies. Now, mind you, calling someone a rookie, if you get called a rookie, you just feel like, man, how did I not know this? Why do I feel like I suck right now? You know, I got called a rookie one time as a youth, and I was like, well, I feel stupid. You feel terrible because it's like it's a rookie mistake. It's like you put diesel gas in your unleaded engine, fucking rookie. You know what I mean? Or like you try and wear boots with a pair of joggers, you fucking rookie. You know what else? You put fucking dish soap in the dishwasher, you fucking rookie. You know, I did that once. I was like 10 years old. My mom had this dish soap that looked like dishwashing detergent, right? So I put it in the dishwasher, left, came back, whole entire fucking kitchen was covered in suds. My mom was like, yo, what the fuck? And I'm like, I don't know. I thought that was dishwashing detergent. And that was it. And then she was like, you fucking rookie. And then I felt like a jackass, and I never did it again. I read the labels deeply, making sure I don't put the wrong shit in the wrong places. You know? You gotta learn, man. You just gotta learn. So, they took the wrong train. They got to where we were at like late as hell. And then we, drank some beers, ate some food. Then we went home. But like, I think that night I smoked a cigar. I think. I don't remember. It was a blur of a weekend. But I smoked a cigar. It was a Cohiba I got. Right? I forgot where they're from. Somewhere in the islands, right? So I inhaled this cigar, damn near threw up on myself. For some reason, I forgot this ain't no Black and Mild. You can't inhale these freaking Dominican, Nicaraguan, wherever cigars and just think you'll be okay. Like, I felt dizzy for at least 30 minutes. It felt like somebody put my stomach felt like somebody put an egg beater inside of my stomach and turned that shit on 8. That's what it felt like. And I was like, yo, I'm going to throw up, man. So I was outside with my friend. I didn't say I was going to throw up. I tried really hard to keep my composure as I was drooling out of my mouth, trying not to puke my fucking brains out. So, for those of you that don't want to be a rookie, don't inhale cigars because you don't feel stupid and you might throw up on yourself. Okay? Don't do that. And that next day, woke up at like 6 a.m, took a shower, and then we all got on the train, the BART, and we went to San Francisco, and then we went to freaking Alcatraz tour. That shit was tight because it's very insightful, educational. Like, their audio tour is probably one of the great. It was better than somebody walking around and talking. That's how good it was because they added sound effects to it. It just made it more appealing because you can go at your own pace. So like I fucked around. I left everyone because there was some park ranger that was talking about nothing, you know. So I just walked up the hill, took some pictures of some shit, and then that was it. And I started the tour by myself. And I texted my friends. I was like, hey, where are you guys at? They're like, why the fuck do you start the tour by yourself? And I was like, I don't know. I got bored. You guys are listening to some guy talk about nothing, trying to tell lame ass jokes. I'm trying to start this tour and get this shit on the road. So I started the tour hella early, and then there's a break in between. So I just sat and chilled and waited for my friends, and then we finished it all together. But yeah, I didn't know Bumpy Johnson was on Alcatraz. For those of you who don't know, Bumpy Johnson is the king of Harlem, or was the king of Harlem. Now, Bumpy Johnson, he had a protege by the name of Frank Lucas. Okay? Frank Lucas was a motherfucking drug-dealing legend, right? Supposedly made $1 million a day selling drugs, right? So he was during that era, Nicky Barnes and shit, right? I think it was after Al Capone and all those guys. Maybe. I don't know. But anyways, Frank Lucas, that's what they based American Gangster off of. That movie with Russell Crowe and Denzel Washington. One of my favorite films. So anyways, yeah, so Bumpy Johnson was there at one point, and then Al Capone was there before his fucking brain turned into mush, you know, because he was a fucking idiot. So that's when I learned, like watching a Al Capone documentary is how I learned that that you can really die from chlamydia, and like that's it. What was crazy that he never got it fixed. So I'm like, he must have never went to the hospital ever. So yeah, so he died from it, and then like his brain was just like gone, which was nuts. Not nuts, but you know what happens when you're over there in between a bunch of places you ain't got business going in between and catching some shit you don't want to catch. But luckily, sex ed is great nowadays in public high schools. There was a spot called Lee's Sandwiches, because we stayed in Dublin. They had some good Vietnamese sandwiches and European sandwiches. I got like some steak sandwich, and then they have this coffee, right? Vietnamese coffee. I don't know what it is about coffees from other countries, but that shit makes our coffee like, nah. American coffee, this shit's fucking weak. Is it? Yep. I don't know what it is about other countries, but they put, I don't want to say steroids because everybody says, oh man, they put, that shit is like coffee on steroids. Oh, that shit's like coffee on crack. I don't want to say that. I'm going to say this. Their coffee is like, you're a boy in 8th grade, right? You're a boy in 8th grade, right? There's this girl you got a crush on, right? This is what their coffee is like. You're an 8th grade boy. This girl you have a crush on, she's in the 8th grade too. This is how good this coffee is. All right, follow me. You're an 8th grade boy. You have a crush on this 8th grade girl. Now, one of your friends. Now, okay. Some of you may know this story. Anyways, you were 8th grade boy. You got a crush on this 8th grade girl. Your friends say, hey, I bet you won't smack her butt. You say, bet. You run along and you smack her butt. Next thing you know, she tells you she had an older brother that's going to come and kick your butt. Now what? Now, think about how afraid you are. Now, let's say you're an only child, because some people are like, well, I got an older brother and he'd fight my fights. Nah, assume you're an only child. You slap this girl's butt, her 17-year-old brother's going to come to your school and beat the brakes off you because of it, right? Imagine how fast your heart will be beating, right? That's what that coffee was like, you know? And for those of you who don't know, I jacked that story from The Wood. If you've never seen The Wood before, you don't know what I'm talking about. So I advise you should maybe see it. It's a cult classic in the African American community, in the urban community. It's a cult classic. Trust me. Like, some people are going to be like, oh, man, I thought Friday was, no. I thought fucking Harlem Nights, blah, 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 blah. No. I mean, those movies are great, Coming to America and shit, maybe. But The Wood, fucking cult classic, bud. Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, Don't Be a Menace, possibly. Yes. That was before they got whored out by doing 20 scary movies. The first two were fine. After the third and all that shit, I wasn't following anymore. Didn't want to follow anymore. Blank Man is a great fucking film. Watch that. That's with Damon Wayans and David Alan Grier. Super old. I'm not going to go over it with you because I know a lot of you may have seen it back when USA was a network. Because it'd be on there all the fucking time. Alcatraz was dope. Would I go again? Maybe in 2 years. What was really interesting is that there was a guy who wrote a book about being on Alcatraz because he was a prisoner there at one point. And they had this old dude at a desk signing the books and shit. And I'm like, this guy's like fucking 75. Why y'all doing this to him? Let my man retire and chill, Don't, like, I felt like it was kind of like he was, like it was a zoo and it was a petting zoo. And I'm gonna shake your hand, Trying to get another hustle from some dude that's probably been in prison there for 2 years. Wrote a book about it. And then now you're trying to, like, you're trying to hustle. So, you just gotta make your money somehow, I guess. But, yeah, it felt weird, so I didn't approach him. That's not my thing. So after that, we went to, we just started walking around and shit around downtown San Francisco. And then, we walked into this random ass bar, right? Called Jack's. Alright. Now, shit's great. I was just about to play the jukebox, and play some James Brown. I found a greatest hits album. I was going to play that motherfucker all the way through. But some dude came with his guitar. It was a live show. So I can't be mad at that. Whatever. But next time I'm out there, I'm playing James Brown on a jukebox in a bar with my friends. So, but then it was weird because it wasn't weird at all. It was actually kind of cool. This old gentleman came by himself. I think he left by himself. So unless his homies left before him, I don't know. But he came over and approached us. First question he asked was, "Hey man, how are you guys doing? Are you military at all?" And we were like, "Nah, this guy is," because one of our friends, he was in the army, right? We're like, "This guy is," but none of us are. So he was like, "Well, I don't really need this, and I just appreciate you guys being here." And we're like, "What are you talking about?" So this fool comes out of his pocket. Don't know what pocket he had. He had a Michael Jackson jacket on because it's just a pocket just appeared on his chest. Didn't know where it came from because I swore he was wearing a cardigan the whole time. So anyways, comes out of his pocket, unrolls a $100 bill, puts it on the table, says, "Here guys, drinks on me, son." And I'm like, oh shit. This dude done bought probably 3 rounds for us of whatever we want. So we proceeded to turn up, thanks to that older gentleman. So I think, when I get older, I want to be that cool. And just, approach approach young dudes that are cool. Not cool. No, we're cool as fuck. But approach young guys that seem to have their shit together and just be like, "Hey, man, your next round's on me. Get whatever you want." And be like, "Oh, shit." And then, it was cool. And I appreciate that guy. If you're listening to my podcast right now, which I highly doubt, thank you. It was a good time. So we had had a bunch of shots, bunch of beers and shit, and then we left. So we're like, man, that's great. This is a good time. This is fantastic. So we're trying to figure out what the hell we're about to do now because we're in downtown San Francisco, not really knowing shit to do. And so we're just like, fuck it, let's just go back to the house and get dressed and then go out because our friend's fiance, her and her friends, they were gonna go out downtown over, I guess, a little more or something. So our drunk asses got on this BART, and we just little giggle frits the whole entire time, having the time of our lives, being drunk on this train. And it didn't make sense, but it was like the greatest time I've ever had in California. Like, whenever I go to California, I think it's just LA though. LA is fucking gross. But whenever I go to the Bay or like other spots of California, I kind of like, I start to like California more and more. Because the first places I've ever been in California was LA. And LA is shitty. Sorry. It's just fucking shitty. So I was just like, man, this place sucks. I'm never coming back to California ever again. Blah, blah, blah. So boom, I go back one time to Paso de Robles and Santa Barbara, and that shit was kind of tight. I'm not gonna lie, I actually enjoyed myself there. And so boom, all right, leave, come back again. I go to Stockton, and we go to San Francisco. Now Stockton is hood as hell, right? But I liked it though. It was fun. Like, the people we met were hella cool, right? So boom, all right, cool. San Francisco was kind of cool. So boom, and then we come back this time, and we're in Dublin and Oakland and San Francisco, and I'm like, I'm having actually a really good time out here. So it was like after that night at Jackson, getting on the train, it like capped it off. I was like, yo, this is the greatest time of my life right now. And yeah, so then we get back to the house, and we just sip some more, and then we hop in like 12 Ubers, and we go to freaking downtown Livermore. And like, there's like a few bars out there, and I just remember drinking a little bit, and then just dancing the night away. And that was it, dancing my little butt cheeks off, and I had a good ass time that night. And then yeah, I guess when I drink though, I get really tired. So like, I'm not kicking it past 2 a.m. Once it hits 2 a.m., it might be a wrap for me. I'm just that kind of guy. I guess when I was a kid or a baby, my dad used to give me like little sips of beer, right? Little sips of beer, and it make me sleepy. So I think that shit just carried on into my adulthood, because when I drink a little too much, once it hits 2 o'clock, I got to go. I'm going wherever I'm going to lay my head. I'm going straight there. It's done. It's a wrap. I'm tired. I'm not staying up. What else is it? I ain't gonna miss nothing. I'm not staying up. I'm going home. I'm going to sleep. So there's a lot of Ethiopian Uber drivers, a lot of Somalians. Nothing wrong with that. I actually respect the hustle, and it's like every time I get in a car with one, like the fucking objects. It sounds terrible, Jovan. Don't ever say that again, Jovan. I'm sorry. Whenever I'm in a car with an Ethiopian or someone from Ethiopia or Somalian, I'm just like, wow, these guys are actually pretty cool. Because like, I've always had weird interactions with, like, it's mainly the young ones, like the young kids, like the guys that are like my age, like 20-ish, you know what I mean? Because they look at me hella crazy. It's like, I think I might look Somalian or Ethiopian, and like they're looking at me like, yo, what the fuck? And like, I don't know. Maybe I feel like I look Ethiopian, but I'm big though, because a lot of them, they're all slim and skinny and stuff, and I'm just a big dude. So they're probably looking at me like, yo, why is this nigga so big? Why is this Ethiopian dude so fucking big? I don't know. Maybe they don't think I'm Ethiopian, but maybe they do, because they look at me like, the ones I've had interactions with, the young guys, they look at me hella crazy, and I'm just like, dog, I don't know what I did to you or something, but I don't want you to like think like you can just purposely bump into my chest and that's it, But yeah, I think Ethiopians are fucking cool. Like, when people talk about people coming over here from other cultures and taking our jobs, get the fuck out of here, man. It's bullshit. Like, these people are coming over here to make a living because maybe where they're at, wherever they're coming from, the shit is fucking shitty, We're in Disneyland. America is fucking Disneyland compared to a lot of these places. And what's funny to me is when shit goes south here a little bit, people are talking about, oh, I'm going to go to Canada. Oh, I'm going to move away. I'm going to go to Europe. Blah, 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 blah. Shut up. You're not going nowhere. You're going to go to your house down the fucking street where everybody speaks English because you don't know no other language. And you're going to stay there. And you're just going to twiddle your thumbs. You're going to think about how dumb you sound talking about you're going to move out of the United States. Mind you, we have our flaws. You know, there's liberal racism like a motherfucker out here. You know, we're going to get into liberal racism in a little bit. All right, tune in a few minutes. I'm going to get into liberal racism. Anyways, so it's just like, it's stupid as fuck. I'm not moving nowhere. I mean, I have had thoughts, you know, like, you know, I'm like 35. If I'm 35, still single, yeah, I might move to Brazil. I'm gonna pick up Portuguese, move to Brazil, get a nice little job in the city somewhere, and find myself a wife. Hopefully she's not a lady boy because I don't like surprises. But like I said, I might find myself a wife out there because it's really nice out there. And you know, that's it. That's all I can tell you. Or maybe Chile or Argentina, maybe even Panama. Because there's dark-skinned people in Panama that look like me, you know? I look Dominican. Maybe I can learn Spanish and move to the Dominican Republic. I won't be too far away from America. They're basically American. I don't know. But that's always been a thought I've had. But that's a lot to do. Like, if I did move somewhere like that, first, I want to be debt-free, still have college loans. That shit ain't going nowhere. But anything else, and I'm just going to, like, be debt-free and just leave. Leave everything here and just start over. So that's what I'm thinking. Like, I could definitely do that. It's not a problem. So, I mean, it's just a thought. So, we'll see what happens in the next 8 years. Okay? But yeah, we went to San Francisco. But last night, we were downtown San Fran going out. And, like, there's a street called Polk Street that I was trying to get everybody to go to. And it's like a straight-up street of just bars. And I was like, why the fuck are we not at this vicinity? Why aren't we here at these bars, bar hopping our little butt cheeks off? Like, the little bar that we were at was cool. Like, it was empty at first, but then, you know, it started getting packed a little bit. And I was just like, all right, this is whatever. And then what was really strange is that there was this kid, probably a grown-ass man, probably my age, right? And what was funny is that he looked like one of my best friends, but like a really skinny version of him, right? And then what was really weird is that dude approached me, right? Scrawny-ass dude, right? He approaches me. He was like, yeah, man, like, I thought you was trying to talk to my girl. You know, I thought I was going to have to fight you. And I'm not the one for altercations. Like, I'm a diffuser of a situation. Always will be, always have been, you know. The only times I've been in situations is because I'm trying to break up a situation, right? There's been a time when me and one of my friends, I have a friend, this motherfucker Terrell, right? We'll go out sometimes, and then if somebody rubs him the wrong way, he starts talking shit, right? And so there's some crazy shit that happened at a bar a while ago, and I ended up hitting a dude, right? And I was like, damn, son, I didn't do it. I didn't want to, didn't have to, but it's just like what happened was like someone was standing behind me, like just talking crazy, right? I was trying to break it up. Dude that was in front of me, he swung. I don't know if his arms was too short and he thought he was going to hit the dude behind me. He doesn't hit the guy, definitely hits me. So reaction was, boom, left hook, put him to the ground, and then all hell broke loose for a quick minor second. Then I left because I was like, I'm black. I'm getting the hell up out of here. Don't need this in my life right now. So, yeah. So anyways, I'm a diffuser of situations for the most part because I'm not scared. I'm not afraid of fights and stuff like that. Like, if we really have to fight, then fuck it. Let's do it. But if I don't have to fight you, all I have to do is just say, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not really worried about this whole situation or why you're angry. I'm just going to go the other way. And that's what I'm gonna do, because there's some people out here that will do some dumb shit just to, like, for no reason, just because they're angry. You know what I mean? I don't want to be that guy that gets stabbed in the leg because a motherfucker stepped on my shoe and I got mad at him. You know? I don't want to be that guy. So I'm just a diffuser of situations unless I really have to do some shit. So, you know, I'm chill. I'm chill for the most part. I'm a nice guy. You know, I think I am at least. People get along with me for the most part. But, yeah, so anyways, this, like, scrawny ass dude, like, wanted to whoop my ass, I guess, apparently. Because he said I was talking to his girl. I didn't know who the fuck his girlfriend was. And then when he pointed her out, I was like, and in my mind, I was like, I didn't say a thing to this girl. So I don't know what he's talking about. I didn't tell him that. Because I'm not going to be no punk and be like, I don't know who your girlfriend is. I didn't talk to her. And I was like, oh, okay. And like, so he goes, yeah, man, I thought I was going to have to fight you, blah, 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 because, you know, I saw you talking to my girl. So, you know, but I mean, I met your dudes. You seem hella cool. So it's all good, man. And I was like, oh, okay. So, I mean, I wasn't drunk enough to be offended. I mean, if I was drunk enough to be offended, I wouldn't have been offended because he's not beating my ass. I know that. So you just got to let people talk sometimes and make them feel like they're going to do something. But, you know, they're not. Because I was in there with like 6 other dudes. And, you know, sometimes, you know, you just know. You just know you have what people need to do sometimes. You just need to know you got backup if you need backup. But that doesn't mean you have to go out and start shit. So, dude was talking crazy. You know, he wasn't. Well, the thing about it though, he wasn't trying to start an altercation. He was just being like straight up. So I was like, at the same time, I respected him for like approaching me about some shit I didn't do, but just telling me what was on his mind. You know, hey man, I wanted to fight you. In his mind, he was like, man, I want to fight you, but potentially get my ass beat. But I'm just going to tell you right now, because I have some liquid courage in me. I just want to tell you that, hey, man, you seem like a cool guy. So, you know. So, you know. I don't know. People are fucking weird. I took a picture with the dude, though. So, I mean, just so I can remember his face. Just for the next time I'm out there and he's like, oh, you the guy that I was talking to my girl. I'm be like, nah, I wasn't talking to your girl. But anyways, maybe I'm just handsome. I don't know. I look like a regular ass dude. So maybe I just don't know. It was just a weird situation. I don't know why I'm still talking about it. But anyways, yeah, some dude wanted to just beat my ass because he thought I was talking to his girlfriend. That was the weirdest shit ever. But, I mean, it's a part of life, you know? People just want to beat your ass sometimes because they think certain things. They want a reason to fight you because they want to feel like they're the shit. But, you know, this wouldn't work out that way. I'm not a fighter either. I would have hugged him to death with like a headlock. And then I would have walked out that motherfucker like a savage. So anyways, it was a fun time. Me and my other friend, we was trying to save some dude's life because it was one, you know, when you're at places and you see a random ass dude that ain't from nowhere near there and they're just out, you know. So I was at the bar and this guy, like, he approached me. He's like, hey, what's up, man? And I was like, hey, what's up, dude? And he, like, shook my hand and then, he got a drink and, like, walked off. And he's just like, you know, he's, like, people watching and shit. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, this dude is by himself. Middle-aged dude, looked really washed up, you know, definitely dyed his hair. The shit looked like a toupee. But, you know, sometimes you just gotta roll with the shit. Had a really dark tan. A really dark, unnecessary tan, and you know, it was a weird situation. So, boom, I see him later, right outside because we were outside or whatever, and like this dude is blacked out of his mind, right? So one of my buddies, Good Samaritan, fucking Terrell, always there when you need him. So we're trying to get this dude a fucking Uber, you know. And he's like stumbling around, falling in the bushes and shit. And we're just like, man, like we might have to leave this dude, but like, fuck it, we're gonna try and call him an Uber. But like, the Ubers out there were fucking sketchy. Like, they weren't trying to come down the street we were on. So it's like what? Like, did they like do Uber drivers get yanked out their cars and stabbed to death on this street? Because like the motherfuckers was not trying to come down there and get this dude. So we were just like, fuck, I don't know what to do. I went back inside, so. Yeah, so that was that. And then people started leaving. It was like almost 2 a.m. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna leave then too. And we went to some strip club out in San Francisco. Now, I thought we're in San Francisco, the gay capital of the world. I want to see some weird, crazy shit, right? Because, so, I have a friend. I don't want to put him on blast. I'll let him tell you the story if he ever wants to tell you the story. But he told me, right? He told me that at certain festivals, like I think like Pride Festival that we have in Seattle, he said the shit gets fucking crazy out there. And I'm like, what, for reals? And he's like, yeah, like you see some shit that you just see some shit out there. And I was like, oh shit, okay. I probably ain't gonna ever go to Pride, Like I love gay people. I have nothing against them. You can't. They're people. They're just like you and me. But they're like dudes or they're like girls. Whatever. Not a big deal, right? But it's just something like I've been to gay clubs before and they're really aggressive in there. And so with him giving me like a description of what goes on at these festivals, I'm just like, that's way too aggressive for me to even be there and have a good time. I'd be more afraid than anything, right? So yeah, I was good off that, So I'm thinking, all right, we're in San Francisco. I might see some crazy shit in here, right? We go to this gentleman's club. First of all, don't go to a gentleman's club. This shit's stupid, right? We go in there, okay? This gentleman's club. First of all, it's like $20 to get in, okay? I'm like, look, I don't know what. I'm not gonna get my hopes up. I'm just gonna take out $100. I'm gonna take out $100, pay for my cover, go inside, see what happens. That's it, okay? So I go inside with my friends with my $80 in ones, got a beer. And I was like, you know what? I don't think I'm having a good time, So if my father is listening, I'm sorry if you're listening, Dad. If my mother is listening, I'm sorry you're listening, Mother. But let's be real. If I'm going to a strip club, I want to get my money's worth. So it just wasn't for me, It was a really weird establishment. I mean, it was really not necessarily weird. It was boring as fuck. How about that? I mean, nobody doing nothing crazy, nothing's, opening my eyes wide like, oh shit, she's doing that right now. It just wasn't for me. I wasn't having a good time there. So I was just like, all right. I did throw like $40 at one girl and then I just bounced. I don't know why I did it, but I definitely had a beer in my hand. And I think she had decent butt cheeks. So I was just like, here's $40. But I stacked it up, put a rubber band around it, and I put it in her hand. And I was like, you know what? You don't have to be here, but this is for you. I don't know if you're in school, but here, this is for you. I appreciate what you're doing right now, but it's time for me to leave, okay? Now, it didn't happen like that, but that's just what I wish how it happened, because I have no business being in a strip club, especially with the way I was raised. So what really happened was I had a stack of $40 on ones, down my beer. She was doing something great. I walk up to the freaking stage. I said, excuse me, because there's this group of chicks that was on the left of me. I was like, excuse me, can you get out my fucking way? They're like, oh, no doubt. Here you go. They get out the way. I just throw the shit. Don't know where it's going, but I just throw it. And that was it. And I was like, all right, it's time for me to go. I wish I can tell you more strip club stories, because unfortunately I've been one too many strip clubs in my lifetime. Now, it's not a bad thing, but there might be people listening to this podcast that just didn't know Jovan goes to strip clubs every now and then. So I've been to strip clubs from Seattle down to California. Best strip clubs I've ever been to was in Portland. Eventually, I will tell you the story about when I was in Portland at the strip club with my pals for my buddy's birthday. But we might have to save that for another day, because that by far was the most ridiculous strip club I've ever been in my life. And it was a good time. So, anyways, don't waste your money and go to Gentlemen's Club in San Francisco if you're in there going to strip clubs, because it's a waste of money. You're not going to have a good time, especially if you've been to strip clubs in Portland, Atlanta, Miami. Now, I haven't been to strip clubs in Atlanta and Miami, but the things I've heard is that, okay, shit is crazy. So, anyways. Ethiopians don't like me. Young ones don't. What else did we go over? Don't inhale cigars. You're going to throw up. What else? Chlamydia will kill you. Okay? And sometimes when you go to bars, random scrawny dudes want to beat your ass. You just have to laugh it off because you know it's not going to happen. And you just don't want no bullshit to come down on you for beating up somebody. Right? Also, that night in San Francisco, it was the dumbest night I ever had in my life because I don't know how I planned it like this, but my flight was in the morning. So mind you, I get home at like 4 in the fucking morning. I have to get up at 6 so I can catch the flight back to Washington. But I flew in to Oakland International. I had to fly out of Oakland International. And on Sundays, guess what doesn't run? Motherfucking BARTs do not run on Sundays until like 9 or 8 a.m. So I was out there at like 6 a.m. about to try and walk into the BART. They have the gate up. I'm like, oh, fuck. So I had to call an Uber. This nice dude came and got me at like 6 in the morning. And I'm like, dude, like, why are you still, like, do you wake up this early and just decide to drive? And he's like, nah, man, I've been doing this all night. And I was like, what? So, like, his thing is he sets a goal every day, right? Oh, this is my goal on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, and I don't go home until I reach my goal. I'm like, dog, this dude might not have no kids. This is fucking crazy. So I'm definitely thinking, all right, so this dude probably gets up at like 7 p.m. and just drives all night, because it was 6 a.m. when he got me. So I'm like, fuck, dude. I really hope he went home after he dropped me off at the airport. I really hope that drive was worth his while, because I was $65 from San Francisco to the Oakland International Airport. So that shit's crazy. Like how much driving people do for Uber in their cars. But yeah, cool guy though, because like he just like moved around, and he's just one of those guys that just don't stay put. People like that I appreciate. Like my dad, my stepmom, they like to move and stuff. They get rooted, but it's really easy for them to get uprooted based off of opportunity and just their surroundings. Like when they get bored somewhere, it's like, all right, it's time to move, and that's it. And I'm just like, that's fucking tight, because it's like, you know, some people are at a place, they get so established that they just can't. They're just too afraid of upping and leaving and starting all over again. And then they just, you know, they're at a place they don't really like, and they're having a terrible time for the rest of their lives. So people that are able to uproot from places and just do their thing, those are people I really respect, because that shit is crazy to do for some people. And so I got a lot of respect for immigrants and shit, because some of them, they just get the fuck out of there and that's it. They don't ever go back. Like, I think my grandma, she was really an immigrant though. She got married to my granddad, and she like came over here. I don't know if she ever went back to Japan. I feel like she did. But yeah, and she just kicked it here. Had 5 kids and just chilled. So it's like, you know, it's kind of cool. What else, man? So anyways, I get back to Washington State. The Grammys are on. And the best part that I saw the whole shebang was the Bee Gees tribute and the Prince tribute. I'm not gonna say I love the Bee Gees, but the Bee Gees have like 4 or 5 songs that I really like, right? And I listen to him all the time. And then Prince, mind you, his discography is available on Apple Music finally. Bruno Mars did a tribute, and Morris Day and The Time did the tribute, and I was like, this shit is fucking amazing. And so that was great. I didn't really pay attention to anything else, but those are like the biggest things I saw, and I think it was a great show. My roommate moved out as well, so I'm just, you know, I don't have to worry about pausing the podcast when somebody's coming through the door anymore. I'm just, you know, here by myself, talking to myself. like some lonely fool. It's okay though. I don't know. People like my podcast, so I guess for me to be, here alone talking to myself for your entertainment, it's fine. Not a big deal, So yeah, so I'm just here trying to rebuild this place. I turned this room into an office, and then I just gotta figure out. I gotta find artwork, and I gotta get like new things for myself and shit. Because this place is mine now, and I'm just hanging out, trying to make this into my own home. Re-sign the lease for a while, and I'm just gonna kick it. All right. So I don't know, shit's fun. I enjoy it. Living by yourself is actually really cool. For those of you who like, I don't know, not even for those of you, I just like my privacy. Sometimes I like being able to just do shit now without having to worry about being respectful and shit. Like I come home, my roommate may be like watching TV. I don't want to be rude and shit and be like, oh, can you turn that shit off so I can record my podcast? Because it's rude. People don't do that. That's a shitty person. I don't want to be a shitty person. So I just gotta wait, and sometimes I might record in my room and shit. So there's a lot of that. But then when you live by yourself, you can do whatever the fuck you want. I made eggs in my boxers the other day. No problem. Didn't have to worry about nothing. So I don't know. It's pretty cool. It's not that bad at all. It's not bad at all, actually. So I just need to get some artwork put on my walls in here, and then shit's gonna be cool. So I have no Wi-Fi right now. That's another reason why I wasn't podcasting. I didn't have any Wi-Fi, so I just been I uploaded the other one. I sent it to myself, and then I just used my cell phone as a hotspot because Verizon has unlimited data now, so I can do shit like that. So that's how I'm gonna upload it this time as well. I'm connect to my phone and just upload it to the shit, and y'all gonna have it. You gonna have it to listen to tomorrow or today, whatever day it is right now. Cable's a fucking scam, by the way. I'm just gonna get Wi-Fi. Comcast cut your boy a deal for just Wi-Fi, and I'm like, all right, I'll stick with that. But like, I'm not gonna do cable. I don't really watch TV like that. You know what I mean? I'd rather do other things. Like listen to podcasts, record my podcast, listen to music more or less, and shit like that. So I don't know, it's just never really my thing. I like Netflix though. What else, man? I ordered my shirts for the clothing brand. So they should be in a few weeks. I got like 4 designs. It's a part of the festival series, I'm gonna call it, because I'm only gonna sell them at the festivals. Because I think I'm gonna do 4 festivals this year, right? I'm not gonna tell you the name yet until I pay for these motherfuckers, because then it's guaranteed. So, but the plan is 4. There's one that I had to actually put a deposit down on because it's like a 3-day situation. But luckily I can cancel because I'm afraid I might not have enough product to do 4 festivals, but we'll see. We'll see when the time comes, but I'm really excited for this summer because I think the most I've ever done was 2. So I did 2 the first year and 1 last year. And then this year, if I come through with 4, that's going to be fucking great. I'm excited though. So we'll see how it goes, man. What did I do this weekend though? Because last weekend I did nothing. That was a recovery weekend. This weekend was my friend's birthday, my mom's birthday. I got a basketball game tomorrow. Hi, my name is Trey. I got a basketball game tomorrow. That's one of my favorite vines. Anyways, it was my mom's birthday over the weekend. She took me and my friend to see Gary Owens. He's a white dude from Think Like a Man 1 and 2, and he's funny as fuck. Like he did a lot of bits on like Comic View and stuff. Like he's that one white dude that like he has a huge urban following, which is hilarious, but it's awesome because he's funny as hell. So he came with like 2 other comedians, and they shut that motherfucker down. I never laughed so hard in my life, and it was amazing. So he was at the Tacoma Comedy Club. My mom, it was her birthday, so I ain't tripping, but she almost fell, and I was like, all right, I hope nobody saw. But she had a good time. when your mother's hit a certain age and you old and out they house, they gonna get their groove back, and you just gonna have to respect it and play and stay in your lane and just make sure they okay. So my mom will turn up off some Riesling, and that shit was fun though. So yeah, we saw that, and then after that show was over, I had to book it straight up to Seattle. Smashed all the way to Seattle to one of my boys' birthdays. And we went to the garage, and we went to Rhino Room. And then it was like 1 in the morning. I was like, all right, it's time for me to go. Because I was tired as hell that day. So yeah, so I got home at like 1:30, went to sleep, woke up at like 7, 8. And then we went out to Crab Pot in Seattle for my mom's birthday dinner. And that was the first time I was ever there. The shit's expensive to do the crab dinner. I spent like $70 on just by myself. But at the same time, it's really worth it. So I had the crab combination and then 1 liter of beer. And it was fucking amazing. Alright, it was amazing. I always forget how good crab meat is. I also forgot how cold the shit can get. Like, meat gets cold really fast. Certain meats, I think. No, meat in general. Because I can cook a steak and the shit will get cold in like 10 minutes. Like, cold. Like, not even comfortable to eat, And you're still eating it. But, yeah. But anyways, the shit was still bomb. And I finished my beer. And that was it, man. It was a good time. Went home and stuff, and yeah. What am I yawning? Fucking almost 10 o'clock at night. I need to take my black ass to sleep. So definitely, if you're in a place that has the crab pot, go there. Tell them Jovan sent you. They're not gonna know who the fuck Jovan is, but you gonna tell them that I sent you there. You ain't gonna get a discount either, but just tell them I sent you. Excuse me. So also on Friday, me and a friend, right? We went and saw Get Out. Okay. Now, what was even funnier about that shit is that I'm black, she was white. We were seeing a movie about liberal racism between an interracial couple, right? So it was very interesting because then we started wondering, like, how many interracial couples would we see coming to see this movie? Because we already knew there's going to be a bunch of black folks, right? But then I was wondering how many interracial couples would be there to watch this film. Wasn't that many. But anyways, it was a good-ass movie. If you haven't seen it, you need to see it. It'll make you think about things in life that you may have put on the back burner. Like, like those kind of, like maybe motherfucking coworkers that trying to, they do a little too much to try and make you feel comfortable because they think they need to do that shit to make you feel comfortable, yet they don't need to do anything to make you feel comfortable but be themselves. Shit like that. It's like it's like when somebody tries to tell me how much they love President Obama. I don't give a fuck. Like, but it's because I'm black. And like those people that they try so hard to not be racist that they end up being racist as fuck. Those people. Liberal racism. And yeah, it makes you realize some shit. So it's kind of funny. But I don't really run into that situation a whole lot. It just depends on where I'm at. Like if I'm far up north in like Seattle and Kirkland and shit, I run into that every now and then because it's like there ain't no black folks up there. There's not too many at least. If they are, they're in the fucking hood areas that nobody goes to. And plus I'm from Tacoma, so you already know. If you ain't been to Western Washington and you ain't never heard of Tacoma, then don't worry about what I just said. I'm just saying. I'm not from Tacoma though. I'm from motherfucking Lakewood. Alright. Now that shit, you from Lakewood, motherfuckers gonna judge you like crazy. Cause they act like motherfuckers ain't supposed to live there, Anyways, yeah, it's not, Get Out isn't really a horror film. It's more or less of a thriller. And it's great. It's eye-opening. I really hope that next year's Oscars it gets an award for something, because I think the shit was brilliant. And that's it, man. If you don't see it, you need to see it. And that's it. That's all I can tell you. I can't even give you a spoiler alert or anything, because like it just came out. But it's one of those films where it can cause you to have conversation. That's what needs to happen, is conversation. I like conversation. I like to know other people's point of views. So it's like one of those, it's a perfect film for that. Especially if you see it with a white person. Like, not even to be like on some Malcolm X shit. Like, you need to do shit, white people need to respect black folks, blah, 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 blah. No, not like that, you know. But it's just so that, like, because there's some people that aren't aware of the type of shit that you may, you know, embark on throughout your day. You know what I mean? Like, I have, like, my core friends that are white, they understand the shit because they're from where I'm from and they see the shit all the time, right? But then you might have someone that's not from where you're from. They might be from somewhere where they don't even interact with too many black folks. And they don't understand. They don't really understand too much about the type of shit that you kind of go through every day. Or like, you know, the type of stereotypes you have to live with. And I mean, it's crazy is that every race has stereotypes, you know what I mean? And then like, there's racism from black folks to white people, you know? I've seen that shit all the time. And it's just, overall, you just gotta understand one another, you know? Don't put nobody in no fucking box because of some shit you thought that they're about, or some stereotype you've heard because your fucking racist ass grandparents told you some shit when you were a kid. Like, don't listen to that stuff, man. Just treat everyone as an individual, and that's it, you know? That's it. That's all you can do, son. That's it. So, I look at liberal racism as a fucking joke. Like, dog, you tell me that President Obama was your favorite president because I'm black, he's black. You want me to feel comfortable? I'm going to push you in some fucking sticker bushes. Don't do that. Shit's silly. You play only rap when I'm around. I will push you in some sticker bushes. What else? The only thing you want to talk to me about is like fucking basketball and shit. I will push you in some sticker bushes. What else, man? Yeah, if all you want to talk to me about is black people shit, I'm going to push you in some sticker bushes. Only unless you really want to try and get educated on some shit, then it's fine. You know, that's not a big deal to me. But if you're just like, oh, I just want him to feel comfortable and I'm just going to talk to him about shit that I think he can relate to because I don't know what else to talk about. And I'm going to assume that's all he knows. You're going to get pushed in some fucking sticker bushes, bud. So, anyways, Future, the rapper. Isn't that ironic? I said don't talk to me about black people shit and I talk about rap right now. Haha. Anyways, Future dropped like 2 albums, dog. Them shits is fire. I listened to Draco like 67 times in 2 days. That's how good well, I'm not going to say as a whole that CD is great, but he has some gems on there. And Draco, I listened to that shit 67 times in 2 days. That's how good that shit is. I like Future because he's good gym music. I don't know what he's saying, but the way he's so melodic on the beats, you know, I just appreciate it, you know? You know, it's fucking great. I can't hate on that. I enjoy it, you know? But from Atlanta, my favorite artist is always going to be Outkast. It's always going to be Ludacris. Ludacris before Red Light District. After that, and like after that whole shit he had with Oprah, I guess, which caused him to cut his fucking braids off and like act like somebody else other than who he was, I wasn't with that Ludacris anymore, you know? My favorite Ludacris was the motherfucker that was talking fucking crazy on songs, right? Like rapping about shit I couldn't even play in front of my mom, you know what I mean? That's Ludacris I like. From Incognito to Back for the First Time, Word of Mouth, Shake 'Em in Beer. Red Light District, I didn't really fuck with that. Anything after that, I didn't really care for it. And that's it. So, He was my favorite. He was my favorite rapper at one point. Like Southern Hospitality is one of my favorite songs. And man, Outkast, that Outkast, you feel me? One of my favorites. Favorite album from them, probably Stankonia. It came out while like shit made sense to me because they did Aquemini and AT Aliens and Southern Playlist to Cadillac Music. But like I was kind of too young to really comprehend music and knowing what the fuck I was listening to. But when Stankonia came out, and like okay, I know what I'm listening to. You know what I mean? And so I really like that album. Slum Beautiful is fucking dope. I think it's my favorite song on that album. Stankonia or Stank Love? No, let me tell you something about Stank Love on Stankonia. There's something about that long ass song and then people talking the way they talk in that shit and like the poem at the end and then like just how like the beat drags so hard in that song. I don't know what it is. Like I'm definitely gonna have a baby's mother to that song in my lifetime. When I decide to have children in my life, one of those kids will be made to that song Stank Love off of Stankonia. Trust me. If you never heard it, listen to it. And then you'd be like, oh shit, Jovan, I know what Jovan's saying. This is nasty. This is a nasty song, but he's got to be in love with this woman first. Because that's just how it is. I'm not going to make kids with you if I don't love you, because then that's just a waste of time. Anyways, that's what I don't even know what I'm talking about no more. But T.I. was cool too. Now, there's Gucci Mane and Young Jeezy and shit. You know what I mean? But they came along. I started listening to them. Like, they're cool and stuff. But I was in like a weird transitional state when these fools was coming out. Like, I wasn't always listening to rap all the time. Like, there was some other shit I would dip and dabble into. You know what I mean? Like, when I went to college, for sure, I was like fucking with MIA and like I was figuring out all this other weird shit I started to like. Like, when Kid Cudi came out, when Day and Night came out, and I was in buttfuck like nowhere, middle of nowhere, West Virginia, I played Day and Night like every day. And because it just made sense. Like, that's when music started to make sense to me. I listened to MIA, Paper Planes and shit, and Roadrunner, and like, that's when I started to figure out, oh shit, I like more stuff other than rap, you know? So yeah, so T.I. was one of my favorites at one point, and then Metro Boomin's cool. Metro Boomin is a phenomenal producer, because none of his beats sound the same, but they sound alike enough to know that it's his beat. You know what I mean? It's not like when the Neptunes were out in the beginning and they had that sound, you know? Boo, boo, boo. That shit, you know? It's not like when Timbaland was out either, where he used the same sounds, but just differently, you know? You know, Metro stuff is slow, but like it's really intricate, you know what I mean? And I liked his shit. Like when he works with Travis Scott, he's definitely my favorite producer, because Travis Scott has a sound that he likes fucking with, and it's like a really dark melodic hip hop, but like dark sound, and I like it. And yeah, so I don't know, when they get together, the shit's tight. I'm not going on vacation until September. You know, I got shit I need to do. Gotta do the festivals. I gotta start studying for shit. I think I want to go back to school and get my master's. If you ain't been to school, go to school or do something to better yourself. Like, oh, Jovan, you just gonna preach to me on your podcast? You gonna preach to me? I mean, if you're happy where you're at, okay, be happy, but don't fucking complain. All right. If you want to do better, you have to look for something to make you better. That's it. So if you're cool where you're at, don't complain about a damn thing, because then it's just like, what the fuck? You know, you have all these opportunities around you and resources and shit. People move here to go to school, man. So it's like, you know, if you want a better situation, figure out a way to make it better, you know? I gotta stop lighting incense, because this shit's getting in my throat, and it's like my throat fucking hurts right now. Also, man, I signed up for a powerlift meet So I might tell you about the progress in that. I just know I lifted today with one of the guys from the gym. We were doing deadlifts, and I'm weak as fuck. Like I did three reps of 495, and they were struggle reps. But it's been a while since I deadlifted heavy because my neck's been all messed up. But I've been going to the chiropractor the last few days, and like I don't know what it is, but like my neck's been loosening up. So, yeah, back in some action. But I don't know, man. I just talked to your fucking ears off for an hour and 10 minutes. My throat really hurts from these incense. So I think next time I light incense, I'm going to light them in the other part of the room. So, I want to say thank you again for subscribing and listening to this shit. Just say thank you and stuff. Also, before I go, man, y'all say a prayer for Nicki Minaj, because I heard she got killed over the weekend by Remy Martin. So I just want y'all, keep her in your prayers, because I don't know how she's feeling right now. Last time I heard about her, she was in the ER, because Remy Martin just dropped some fucking bars on her, and I was just like, damn, man, just pray for her and her career, all right? So, I mean, other than that, man, just want to say thank you for listening to my podcast. And y'all have a good ass night.
Dorothy was a waitress on the promenade. She worked the night shift. Dishwater blonde, tall and fine. She got a lot of chips. Well, earlier I've been talking stuff in a violent room, fighting with lovers past. I needed someone with a quicker wit than mine. Dorothy was fast. Well, I ordered, let me get a fruit cocktail. I ain't hungry. Dorothy laughed. She said, sound like a real man to me. You're kinda cute. Wanna take a bath? I said, cool. I'm leaving my pants on. Cause I'm kinda going with someone. She said, sound like a real man to me. Mind if I turn on the radio? Oh, my favorite song, she said. And it was Joni singing. Help me, I think I phone. The phone rang and she said, whoever's calling can't be as cute as you. Right then and there I knew I was through. The game on, but she didn't see the movie because she hadn't read the book first. Instead, she pretended she was blind, and fiction wrote over witch's curse. Dorothy made me laugh. I felt much better, so I went back to the violent room. Let me tell you what I did. I took another bubble bath with my pants